Day 1. Ignoring feelings will make them go away. Have you ever experienced this? You try to brush off the feeling of anxiety by ignoring it. Well, did it work? I doubt it. That's because feelings don't just vanish. They hang around waiting to be noticed. In fact, the more you neglect them, the louder they get. Then you'll end up reaching for anything just to numb them. That's why finding healthy ways to deal with our emotions is key. Day 2. Negative feelings are bad. Negative feelings aren't bad. It's just that staying stuck in them isn't really helpful. When you're frustrated, that feeling can actually push you to solve problems. And when you're angry, it can give you the courage to speak up. Feelings themselves aren't harmful. When you learn to manage them, they can actually work in your favor. Day 3. I have to get rid of this feeling. Trying to force those negative feelings away never really works. It's like quicksand. The more we struggle, the deeper we sink. Instead of trying to get rid of them, we can focus on lowering their influence. We can let them be there without letting them take over. There are so many ways to dial down their impact. Reading, journaling, reaching out to friends, or simply naming the feeling for what it is. Day 4. I can't stop feeling this way. We often tell ourselves, I can't stop feeling this way. But that's not entirely true. Feelings can be a choice, though it's not always an easy one to make. Your emotional reactions are a natural part of having a healthy, functional brain. But you do have the ability to decide whether to stay in that feeling or to choose a different one. It's like hearing a song on the radio. You didn't choose the song, but you can decide whether to keep listening or to change the station. Knowing this gives you more power over your feelings. Day 5. She made me upset. Let's set aside the whole who's to blame thing for a second. The truth is, no one can make you feel a certain way. It's the sentences you form in your mind that shape how you feel. If you think, she's just having a rough day, you probably won't feel much anger. But if you think, she's treating me like I don't matter, that anger is going to spike. Here's the thing. You have the freedom to choose how you interpret what's happening around you, and that choice directly impacts how you feel. In the end, your feelings are your choice. Day 6. A negative feeling doesn't always equal a negative situation. One of the most common mistakes we make is judging a situation purely based on how we feel. When we don't separate our emotions from the facts, it can damage relationships and lead to poor decisions. Emotions aren't always accurate reflections of what's really going on. So next time those feelings hit, pause and check the facts before jumping to conclusions. Day 7. You are not your emotions. Your feelings are just one part of the many things you experience. They don't define you. You're far more complex than that. There's so much more to you than the feelings that come and go. Real growth happens when you can step back and observe your emotions without letting them take over. That's when you can build a healthier, more grounded sense of self. Day 8. Feelings are useless and unimportant. Actually, feelings are incredibly useful and important. They play a crucial role in the quality of our lives, the decisions we make, and the relationships we build. Emotions serve a positive purpose in so many ways. Being able to understand and manage your emotions well isn't just helpful, it's essential for living a fulfilling life. Day 9. I need to vent to feel better. A lot of people think that venting will make them feel better, but that's not always the case. When we're venting, we can actually end up focusing more on the feeling, which can leave us even more frustrated. If you really want to process and release your emotions, you might want to consider a different approach. Day 10. Emotionally mature people are always happy. Emotionally mature people aren't just happy all the time. They embrace the full range of emotions and learn how to move through them in healthy ways. Emotional maturity is about recognizing and accepting all feelings. It's the ability to process them without being overwhelmed or suppressing them. Emotional maturity isn't about being happy all the time. Day 11. It's part of being alive. Fear is just part of being human. The more we fight against it, the stronger it tends to get. But when we stop battling and start having a conversation with our fear, we often discover valuable insights hidden within it. Instead of pushing it away, what if we leaned in and asked, "What are you trying to show me?" It's amazing how much clarity we can gain when we choose to engage with our fears rather than resist them. Day 12. Fear is your shield. Let's talk about fear. Fear is your friend. I say this because it's only trying to protect you. Protect you from what, you might ask? Well, from a lot of things. We'll dive into each one in this chapter. But for now, let's take a moment and appreciate fear for its good intentions. It can overreact a lot, but it just wants you to be safe. Day 13. Let's explore. What makes you feel afraid? What exact scenario is playing out in your mind? When your fears are left in the shadows, they can feel overwhelming, even paralyzing. But when you bring those fears into the light, they become something you can manage. The more you shine a light on them, the less control they have over you. Day 14. You're asking the wrong questions. What if I fail? Why am I so weak? You're asking yourself these questions because you're frustrated, and it might feel like they're reflecting your reality. But here's the thing. These questions aren't helping you. If you want to stay calm and move forward, ask different questions. Instead of focusing on the negative, try asking questions with a neutral or positive spin. Different questions can lead to a different outcome. Day 15. What are the possible solutions? Let's assume your worst case scenario actually happened. How would you help yourself get back up? Think about the steps you could take, the strategies you could try. What are the possible solutions? It's not about dwelling on the negative, but about knowing you have the strength and the tools to handle whatever comes your way. By exploring this, you're building resilience and confidence. Day 16. Rename your fear. Renaming can actually help ease your fear. I use this little trick to tackle projects that used to make me anxious. Let me give you an example. If you're feeling nervous about marketing, try calling it sending out invitation. I know it sounds a little cheesy, but stay with me. Changing the name can really shift the energy around it. Sometimes just a simple change in perspective can make a huge difference. Day 17. Play with your fear. Let's play with your fear. On a scale 1 to 10, how intense does it feel right now? What if you cranked it up to 10? Or dialed it all the way down to 1? How would it feel? Here's a fun challenge. How would you explain your fear to an alien who has no idea what fear is? Think of it like you're getting curious and playful with your fear, exploring it from different angles. When you approach it this way, fear will start to lose some of its grip on you. Day 18. Take small steps. Sometimes overcoming fear begins with one small, brave step. You don't have to be perfectly ready. Nobody ever is. It's the small, steady actions that build the confidence to face fear. So ask yourself, what is the small step I can take today? Then go ahead and take it. That micro step is what moves you forward. Day 19. What can I do when things are out of control? Fear kicks in when things feel out of control. And the more you try to take control, the more chaotic it feels. Ever felt that way? If so, here's a helpful question. What is actually in my power right now? What can I let go of? When you shift your focus to what you can manage, you'll feel more grounded. Day 20. Do you have a fear of success? Many of us fear failure, but the fear of success is just as real. Success comes with responsibility and change, which can feel pretty intimidating. If this is what you are experiencing, here's something that can help. The future you will be wiser and stronger. You may not have all the skills you need, but the future version of you will. So keep choosing growth. Day 21. This is why it's difficult not to blame others. Did you know you can get addicted to blaming? Oh yeah, it's tough to stop. Blaming other people gives you this false sense of freedom. Freedom from accountability, freedom from problem solving. But in return, you sacrifice your power, your autonomy, and who you can become. Day 22. Do you get upset over nothing? Do you get upset over nothing? If so, don't beat yourself up. There's no need for that. Instead, focus on your intentions. You can feel angry, but still choose not to react. You can take a moment to pause. You can choose to act from a place of power. Day 23. This is what anger is telling you. Anger is often a signal that something important is happening. Maybe your boundaries have been crossed. Maybe someone is acting against your values. Or maybe you're trying to protect something you care deeply about. Anger is more than just a feeling. It's a message. It's not just about the other person. It's about what's going on inside you. Take a moment and listen to what your anger is trying to tell you. Day 24. You might need some boundaries. Have you set boundaries for yourself? Boundaries for your time, your energy, your emotions? Setting healthy boundaries is essential. It's how we protect our well-being. The thing is, others might not know what your boundaries are unless you communicate them. People aren't mind readers, so it's important to let them know clearly and kindly what you need. Day 25. Do your expectations often fall short? Do your expectations often fall short? Are they realistic? You might tell yourself you're only asking for the bare minimum. But let's pause for a second and really think about it. If you're putting your happiness in someone else's hands, it's not a great idea. They're probably not going to meet those expectations, and honestly, you wouldn't be able to meet everyone else's either. But if you can let go of those expectations, you'll free yourself from a lot of anger and frustration. Day 26. Your story matters. Imagine someone says, the wings on your back look terrible. Would that upset you? Probably not, because you know it's not true. But if part of you believes it, their words might sting. If deep down you think, I'm not capable, and someone asks, can you do that? It hits a nerve. You feel angry because it aligns with the story you're telling yourself. In the end, the story you tell yourself matters most. Day 27. This is what anger really wants. Anger doesn't want to fight. It wants change. It's not about destruction. It's about safety. What anger truly wants is for you to be yourself, to protect what matters to you, to live out your values, to create the life you want, and show up fully in it. If you can keep this in mind, you'll be able to respond to anger with more intention instead of just reacting to it. Day 28. Are you mad at yourself? Anger isn't always directed at others. Sometimes we're really just mad at ourselves. And when you're mad at yourself, it's important to show some compassion. You're human. You're trying. What matters is progress, not perfection. Self-compassion helps you release the anger that's holding you back. Day 29. Anger is a catalyst for change. Anger can be a powerful force for change. Some of the biggest shifts in our lives can start from anger. Now, getting lost in the emotion won't help, of course. The key is using that anger to fuel positive action. So ask yourself, what is my anger trying to tell me to change? Day 30. There's so much more waiting for us. Forgiveness can help us let go of anger, especially when resentment is stealing our joy. Forgiveness isn't about letting the other person off the hook. It's about setting ourselves free. It's about reminding ourselves that our anger and wounds don't define us. They're part of our story, but there's so much more waiting for us. Day 31. Practice releasing. Releasing sadness is a skill we can practice. It's okay to let go of the pain that feels unbearable. Carrying that sadness around with you doesn't make the situation any better. Think of it like carrying a heavy backpack. You can put it down for a while and rest. Letting it go doesn't change what you've been through, but it gives you the strength to keep moving forward. Day 32. What does it mean to feel sad? Have you ever thought about it this way? If we didn't care, we wouldn't get hurt. If we didn't dream, we wouldn't feel disappointed. And if we didn't love, we wouldn't experience sadness. So, what does it really mean to feel sad? Maybe it means we're truly living and loving with our whole hearts. Day 33. Why do bad things always happen to me? Why do bad things always happen to me? Self-pity is a tough emotion, and we all feel it sometimes. But if you let it take over, it steals your strength to find solutions. What you need is compassion toward yourself. This isn't about wallowing in sadness. It's about actively helping yourself in meaningful ways. Day 34. Instead of suppressing sadness, try accepting it. Instead of burying your sadness, try accepting it. When we acknowledge our sadness, it helps us process the feeling in a healthy way. By allowing it to be there, we grow emotionally and begin to heal. Rather than pushing it away, ask yourself, where am I feeling this sadness in my body? Can I allow it to be there and still move forward with it? Day 35. People express sadness in different ways. People express sadness in different ways. Some grieve quietly, while others show it more intensely. Some process it faster, while others move through it at their own pace. It's not our place to judge how others grieve. What really matters is that we each find a way to work through it in our own time and in our own way. Day 36. Don't bottle it up. Sadness is a crucial part of healing our emotional wounds. When we stop bottling it up and allow ourselves to feel it, we give ourselves a chance to release it. The pain is no longer hidden in the shadows, and that clarity brings healing and growth. Ask yourself, what message of healing does my sadness have for me? Day 37. Don't get lost in sadness. It's important to accept your sadness instead of pushing it down. But it's just as crucial not to let it consume you. Don't let yourself get lost in sadness. You can carry your sadness with you, but you also need to learn how to care for yourself so it doesn't take over. Letting yourself drown in sadness isn't self-compassion. Ask yourself, how can I stay centered while feeling this sadness? Day 38. Some people leave smiles, others leave tears. Some people leave smiles, others leave tears. But every time, we get to choose how to respond. There's a saying we can all learn from. People come into our lives for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. When we can't accept this, we become stuck in our own sadness. But when we embrace it, we can let go. We can move forward, freeing ourselves to live the life that's meant for us. Day 39. Sadness can be an opportunity. Rather than resisting sadness, here's what you can do. Sadness can be an opportunity to pause and reflect. In those moments, we get closer to understanding our values and our desires. If we ask, what is my sadness trying to tell me? That question can lead to a deeper understanding of ourselves. Day 40. Anxiety is normal. There's nothing wrong with feeling anxious. If you're experiencing it, you're not alone. You're just like me. We all face it. Every challenge can be scary, and every bit of growth can feel uncomfortable. So don't think it's weird or something to be ashamed of. Instead, normalize it. Learn different ways to better manage it. Day 41. It's not there to block you. Why did I do that? What if I regret it later? Regret is tied to our past and it carries a message. It's not there to block you. It's there to protect and help you. When we understand this, we can use regret to grow instead of getting stuck. Day 42. Visualize your success. If you've been preparing for months and still feel unsure, I want you to try something different. Take a moment to close your eyes, take a deep breath, and really visualize your success. Picture yourself in that moment, calm and confident, doing exactly what you've been preparing for. See it unfolding in the best possible way. Day 43. Give yourself the gift of safety. Have you ever thought about giving yourself the gift of safety? I mean, really feeling safe in your own skin. When we don't feel safe, we can't show up as our true selves. But when we feel safe, we can really be who we are. What can you say to yourself that makes you feel safe? What's something small you can do that brings you comfort? Take a moment to nurture that sense of safety within. You deserve it. Day 44. Lower your standards. Some of us set such high expectations for ourselves that we end up feeling anxious and overwhelmed. If you believe only excellence has value and that anything less isn't worth putting out into the world, you might miss out on opportunities to grow your skills. If this is you, lower your standards. Give yourself opportunities to improve. Progress happens in the messy, imperfect moments of trying. Day 45. Are you stretching yourself too thin? Are you feeling overwhelmed by everything on your plate? When we stretch ourselves too thin, anxiety can sneak up. Sure, we're strong and capable, but that doesn't mean we need to carry it all alone. Maybe you need to delegate some tasks or break things down into manageable steps so you can focus on one thing at a time. Think of ways to support yourself. Day 46. Take a deep breath. When anxiety kicks in, both your body and mind go into overdrive. One of the simplest ways to calm down is by breathing. Deep breathing activates the vagus nerve, which helps relax your nervous system and brings your focus back to the present. All you have to do is stop, take a deep breath, and exhale for twice as long. Day 47. There's just sentences in your head. When your thoughts start spiraling out of control, remember this: you are not your thoughts. They're just sentences in your head. They're not the absolute truth. Ask yourself, is this thought absolutely true? Practice separating yourself from your thoughts. You don't have to believe everything your mind tells you. Day 48. Schedule a time. Ever spent the entire day anxious about what might go wrong? Maybe it kept you up at night or made it hard to focus at work. If this sounds familiar, try this. Schedule a specific time just for worrying. For example, pick an hour, say from 1 to 2 in the afternoon, where you allow yourself to focus on all your worries. After that, move on with your day. If any worries pop up, push them to that specific time window. Give it a try. Day 49. Let yourself be here. If you think about it, we're often anywhere but here. Mindfulness is about bringing your attention back to the present. It's about taking a deep breath, tuning in to the sounds around you, the sensations in your body, and the rhythm of your breath. When you engage your senses, you step away from the anxious mind and reconnect with what's real in this moment. Day 50. Practicing gratitude can make a real difference. Practicing gratitude can make a real difference when anxiety creeps in. We often get so caught up in what's missing that we forget what we already have. Take a moment to think about what you're grateful for, no matter how small or ordinary. Focusing on what you appreciate can quiet those racing thoughts and restore peace. Day 51. It's about your own untapped potential. Next time you feel jealous, remember this. It's not about what the other person has. It's about your own untapped potential. The dreams you haven't yet lived out. What you truly want isn't what they have. It's living out your own dreams. Let jealousy remind you of your own dreams. It's a signal saying, you can do this too. Day 52. Comparison steals our joy. No matter how great someone is at something, there will always be someone else who's better. It's a never-ending cycle. When we get caught up in comparing ourselves to others, we lose sight of what truly matters. Do you know what that is? Honoring our own path and progress, which deserve to be celebrated and acknowledged. Day 53. Remember, there was a time. Before you envy what someone else has, celebrate what's already yours. Instead of focusing on what's missing, appreciate what's right in front of you. Remember, there was a time when you were hoping for exactly what you have today. So before you get lost in wanting more, take a moment to give yourself a little credit for how far you've come. Day 54. Life isn't a zero-sum game. If you're worried someone might be jealous of you, just remember, your success doesn't mean someone else's failure. Life isn't a zero-sum game. Some people will feel jealous, and others will cheer you on. Let them. Their reactions aren't yours to control. What you can control is how you show up and stay true to your path. Day 55. Your journey is uniquely yours. What you truly want isn't to watch others live out their dreams. It's to move closer to your own. It's not about seeing others fail, but about embracing your own failures as stepping stones forward. Your journey is uniquely yours, and it won't look like anyone else's. Instead of being distracted by others, focus your energy on your own growth. Day 56. You are enough. Jealousy can sometimes make us feel like we're falling short. But let me remind you, you are enough. You pursue things in life not because you're deficient, but because you have a desire to grow. You strive for self-improvement not because something is wrong with you, but because you value progress. One from a place of power, not from scarcity. Day 57. We might only be seeing the highlight reel. When others seem to have it all, we might only be seeing the highlight reel. We don't know the full picture. The sleepless nights, the setbacks, the fights they've had to push through. Behind every success story is a journey of perseverance, discipline, and sacrifice. The truth is, no one achieves greatness without struggle. Instead of being fixated on what others achieve, ask yourself, what battles am I willing to fight for my dreams? Day 58. Here's an interesting perspective. Jealousy comes with many gifts. First, it reveals desire. Wanting something is a beautiful thing. Imagine how dull life would be without anything to long for. Second, it fuels action. Instead of running away, we can start moving toward what we want. Third, it brings care and attention. Jealousy reminds us to tend to our own garden, the parts of ourselves we've neglected. Day 59. Write a letter to the part of you who is always comparing. I see you. I know you're always looking at what others have achieved. Sometimes it's pushing me to be more competitive, to work harder. But don't let it turn into a green-eyed monster that make us feel like we're never enough. And remember, other people's wins inspire us and open more possibilities for us too. Day 60. Loving yourself means, you probably heard it before, love yourself first. But have you ever stopped to wonder what that even means? Loving yourself is being your own best friend. A best friend who's kind and supportive. A best friend who genuinely wants the best for you. That's what loving yourself looks like. Day 61. I don't deserve love. Maybe there's a little voice inside you saying, I can't love myself. I don't deserve love. That voice might be wounded. Maybe you've never experienced unconditional love. Maybe you know criticism better than love. So maybe it's not about deserving. Maybe it's about learning to give yourself the love you need. Day 62. If you constantly seek validation, do you find yourself constantly needing validation? If so, it might be because deep down the messages you're giving yourself are the opposite of what you need. Maybe you're repeatedly saying to yourself that you are not enough. We all need love and approval, but it's also important to recognize that sometimes we need to be our own source of that reassurance. So instead of wanting for others to validate you, start by affirming yourself. Remind yourself that you're doing better than you think and that you're worthy of love just as you are. Day 63. Love is an ability. Being able to comfort someone, to cheer them on, or to truly understand a different perspective, it all takes emotional capacity. If your close friends or family can't always show up in that way for you, it's not because they don't love you or they don't respect you. It's likely because they lack that ability. The truth is, expressing love is an ability. Day 64. Let's look beyond the surface. Is love to you a feeling or an action? What makes you believe someone loves you? What are the things they do or say that make you feel that way? And how do you express love to the people around you? We all have different love languages, and that's okay. But if we can learn to understand those differences and look beyond the surface, focusing on each other's hearts, we'll experience a much deeper, more fulfilling love. Day 65. Love can be difficult. Love can be easy. Love can be difficult. The truth is, love can be both. If you think love is just a feeling, then it's a fluid state that comes and goes. Your love may end as soon as the feeling fades. But if you see love as a commitment, you'll put in the work and dedication, even when it's not easy. Day 66. Is it fear in disguise? Losing your sense of self is not love. Obsession is not love. Controlling is definitely not love. These stem from anxiety and fear, not love. We need to stop confusing them with love. It's not healthy for you or the other people you care about. Ask yourself, is this really love, or is it fear in disguise? Day 67. Boundaries are an essential part of love. Boundaries are an essential part of love. When we set boundaries, we're not pushing people away. We're creating the space for love to thrive. Set healthy boundaries by acknowledging what you need to stay true to yourself. Honor your feelings and needs while respecting theirs. That's how deeper, more mature relationships are built. Day 68. What would love do? When you're frustrated, stop and ask yourself, what would love do? Not fear, not anger, but love. How would love respond? Love would show compassion, not criticism. It would listen instead of jumping to conclusions. Love would remind you that you're okay. Love would say, "You're doing better than you think, and I'm here with you." Day 69. If love had a voice, what would it say? If love had a voice, what would it say to you? You are special. You are loved. You are safe. You are enough. You're strong. You're brilliant. You're fun. You're important. You are irreplaceable. Day 70. List all the things you love. The sound of waves crashing. The soft breeze sweeping over the ocean. A deep blue sky dotted with fluffy clouds. The feeling of your bare feet sinking into soft, warm sand. Ice cold water after a long, hot walk. The laughter of your favorite person in the world. Now, list all the things that you love. Day 71. Do you want to feel more confident? Do you want to feel more confident? Confidence is all about how you see yourself. And how you see yourself is entirely up to you. If you think, "I'm unlovable," you'll feel exactly that way. But if you believe, "I'm loved," you'll feel that love. So how do you choose to see yourself? Day 72. Give yourself a little grace. It's completely natural to feel low on confidence sometimes, especially when you're trying something new. It's not unusual at all. Of course, you're going to feel uncertain. It's part of the process. The fact that you feel this way means you're pushing yourself beyond your comfort zone and choosing growth. So instead of being hard on yourself, give yourself a little grace. Day 73. Don't lie to yourself. When your confidence dips, don't start lying to yourself. Don't tell yourself, "I don't want this," just because it's tough. Don't convince yourself you're not capable. Feeling overwhelmed is normal. But a feeling is just a feeling. It comes and goes. It doesn't define reality. Remember, you've got what it takes. Day 74. Are you seeing the value in yourself? We often overlook our own strengths, thinking that they're nothing special. But the truth is, there's always someone out there who sees your gifts, your personality, and your relationships, and they admire them. So why aren't you seeing that value in yourself? Stop discounting what makes you unique. When you start to truly appreciate what you bring to the table, everything changes. Day 75. Honor your longing. Before you assume that people aren't treating you kindly, and before you start judging yourself for always craving kindness, take a moment to celebrate the kindness that already lives within you. Your longing for kindness is a reflection of the compassion you carry inside. That craving is a sign of your capacity for empathy, and it's worth celebrating. Instead of criticizing it, honor it. Day 76. Accept compliments. When someone gives you a compliment, don't shrug it off. Instead, practice saying, "Thank you." This isn't arrogance. It's owning your efforts and the value you bring. It's about believing in yourself. Don't shy away from the good things others see in you. Acknowledging compliments is a way of saying, "I see my worth too." Day 77. Let's give it a try. Self-gaslighting is sneaky. The thoughts you have feel factual. You're telling yourself, you're not good at this, so why even bother? And just like that, you've quit before you've even started. But you're not just good at it yet. You owe it to yourself to give it a shot because deep down, you want this. Instead of shutting yourself down, tell yourself, let's give it a try. Day 78. Now you're knee-deep in real work. When you hit a wall, it doesn't mean you're incompetent. It just means you're out of the honeymoon phase. Now you're knee-deep in real work. It's the part that actually makes you better. Isn't that something to be proud of? You're not stuck. You're building something. Day 79. Don't try to be somebody else. You don't need to be anyone but yourself. You're the most unique thing in this universe. Celebrate what makes you different. No one can be you, and no one can do it like you. Instead of trying to fit in, stand out by seeing the best version of yourself. The world needs your unique spark. Day 80. Is this true to who I am? What are your core values? Knowing what matters to you gives you a sense of direction. When your choices reflect those values, you reinforce your sense of self. And that's how you build self-respect and inner confidence. Every time you act in a way that honors your core beliefs, you're strengthening your integrity. So before you act, pause and ask yourself, is this true to who I am? Day 81. Peace is an inner game. If we're looking for peace in things outside of us, other people, situations, or outcomes, we end up giving away our power. We lose the ability to create peace for ourselves because we're waiting on something external to make us feel okay. The truth is, peace is an inner game. We have to remind ourselves that it starts within, no matter what's happening around us. Day 82. This is what amplifies stress. Stress is always going to be part of life, but what amplifies it is when we stop taking care of ourselves. If you're only sleeping 4 hours a night, stress is inevitable. If you're not moving your body, of course you'll feel it building up. The real shift happens when you start showing up for yourself, when you don't compromise your well-being so you can thrive in your daily life. Day 83. Create ease within yourself. Clinging to just one perspective in a situation can work against us. Maybe you're thinking, they didn't reach out because they hate me. But what if they were just busy or caught up in their own challenges? Maybe they were even worried that you didn't like them. Opening ourselves up to different perspectives creates room for compassion. And most importantly, it allows us to find a little more ease within ourselves. Day 84. Why do I have to do the work? Some may ask, why do I have to do the work? Why can't they change? The answer is simple. It's for your own sake. You're not doing the work for them, but for yourself, so you can have the peace you deserve. You're choosing not to place your well-being in someone else's hands. Day 85. Allow life to move at its own pace. Not everything is within our power, and there is a relief in accepting that. Life will unfold in ways we can't predict, and that's okay. Letting go of control doesn't mean we've given up. It means we're allowing life to move at its own pace. Focus on what's within your control, your mindset, your actions, your feelings, and how you choose to move forward. Day 86. Trust the journey. We often tie our peace to a specific outcome, landing the job, winning someone's approval, or achieving a goal. But true peace comes when you detach from the outcome and focus on doing your best. When you let go of the what ifs and trust the process, you'll find peace in the journey, not just the destination. Day 87. It's here in the stillness. Peace isn't something we chase. It's not out there waiting for us at the finish line. It's here in the stillness. When life feels overwhelming, pause. Breathe in the moment as it is without judgment or expectation. Let the noise of the world fade and allow yourself to simply be. In those quiet moments, you'll feel the gentle peace. Day 88. Take time to unplug. We're constantly connected with everything: phones, emails, social media. We live in a busy world, but it's essential to disconnect, even for a little while. Take time to unplug, whether it's turning off your phone for an hour or spending a day without checking emails. Give yourself the space to rest. In that quiet, you'll feel calm and recharged. Day 89. Begin the day with something soothing. How you start your morning sets the tone for the rest of your day. Rather than driving straight into your phone or tasks, try beginning the day with something soothing. It can be meditation, gentle stretching, or even your morning coffee. Creating a calm morning routine can help you carry peace with you throughout the day. Day 90. What brings you peace? The soft sound of raindrops falling on a quiet afternoon. The crackling of wood in a cozy fireplace. The scent of your favorite bookstore as you walk through the aisles. The crisp, fresh smell of air in a forest. A warm cup of cocoa topped with tiny marshmallows melting slowly. The satisfying sensation as the tip of your pen glides across the paper. Now, list all the things that bring you peace. Day 91. Do you want to be happier? Do you want to be happier? Then ask yourself, am I making it easy for myself to be happy, or am I making it harder than it needs to be? Do I feel like I need a ton of things to be happy, or can I find contentment in the small blessings I have right now? Happiness isn't about waiting for everything to fall into place. It's about celebrating what you already have and living fully, because the journey itself is joyous. Day 92. Are you chasing happiness? Are you chasing happiness, or are you actually living it? Whenever we're caught up in the chase for happiness, sadness creeps in. The whole process can feel so exhausting. But when we allow ourselves to truly live in happiness, everything shifts. We become more driven, more empowered. So how would you feel if you stopped chasing and started truly living? Day 93. Find the red. Imagine you're given a mission to find the color red. Suddenly, you'd notice red everywhere. Happiness works the same way. When you actively search for those small moments of joy, they start to appear more often, like a warm cup of tea or a kind smile. And then you realize happiness has been there with you all along, waiting to be found. Day 94. Sing yourself a song. Sing yourself a song. Write yourself a poem. Give yourself a compliment. Pat yourself on the back. There are countless ways to make yourself feel better. There are so many ways to bring a little joy into your day. Day 95. What are your needs? Everyone has needs. Some people crave deep conversations with others, while others feel fulfilled by doing something creative. The thing is, when we neglect those needs, and when we let them go unfulfilled, it's like starving ourselves. Just as our bodies suffer without nourishment, our hearts and minds suffer when our emotional needs aren't met. We might look fine on the outside, but inside, we're struggling. So, what are your needs? What do you truly need to feel whole and alive? Day 96. The company you keep is a reflection of your energy. The company you keep is a reflection of your energy. Do your relationships lift you up, or do they leave you feeling depleted? Seek out relationships that inspire you. Surround yourself with those who bring positivity into your world. Uplifting people are like sunshine. They help you bloom. Choose connections that fill you with joy and push you toward your best self. Day 97. Find joy in giving. One of the simplest ways to feel happier is giving. And it doesn't have to be grand. It can be just a smile, a helping hand, or a kind word. Acts of kindness lifts the spirits of others and yours too. The beauty of giving is that it connects you to something bigger than yourself. The more you give, the more joy you receive in return. Day 98. That part of us still exists. As children, we found joy in the simplest things. That part of us still exists. We can reconnect with it by doing something fun, creative, or adventurous. Embracing your inner child invites more happiness into your life. It doesn't mean being childish. It's about welcoming that childlike wonder. When you do, life feels lighter and happiness flows more easily. Day 99. Fill up your happy jar. Do you have a happy jar? It's a special place where you collect all the little things that bring you joy. It can be a photo album on your phone, or it can be a box full of letters and small mementos. There's no right or wrong way to create it. What matters is that it makes you smile. Let it be a daily reminder of all the lovely moments in your life. Day 100. Do you have daily habits that light you up? Maybe it's turning up your favorite music on the drive to work, sharing a hug, or taking a few minutes for a refreshing walk. Even giving yourself a simple compliment can shift your energy. These little moments matter. When stress hits, remember to show yourself some kindness. These small habits aren't just nice, they're essential. They set you up to create more happiness and fulfillment in your life.